Please join me in offering a wonderful welcome to your host of today's show, Mr. Mayor John Joe.
I am pinch hitting today. Mark Cordes is likely on a ship somewhere, enjoying himself. But thank you for the lovely walk-on music. That wasn't the song that I would have picked necessarily, but it was very good. Because when you're at you know what, when you go to a Diamondbacks game, it's your turn to come up to bat. There's a walk-on song, right? And everybody kind of picks a song that matches their personality. And the jig probably, would have been appropriate, but not what I would have picked. But thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, I am pinch hitting today, Mesa Mayor John Giles. Happy to be here for this Valentine's-themed Mesa Morning Live. Should be a lot of fun. We all broke out our Christmas ties, for today. So, Christmas in February is not a bad idea. You just heard from Zilch and Bathos. Zilch and Bathos. Thank you. Let's give them another round of applause. Zilch and Bathos are with the Arizona Renaissance Festival, the annual event that is occurring just east of Mesa. It started last weekend. I think we're going through President's Day weekend. And
yes, we are actually going almost to the end of March.
March 29th.
March 29th.
So every
7
weekend,
weekends left.
Every weekend and President's Day.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And I think we're going to hear another musical interlude from Zilch and Bathos.
We can do that.
Thank you. Take it away, gentlemen. Zilch and Bathos from the Renaissance Festival. Now, gentlemen, just remind me, the Renaissance period of time. That was like...
Well, generally, it's considered to be from about 1490.
Okay.
Until, the fall of the first British kings in Charles I, when he was...
Okay.
Unceremoniously, very ceremoniously executed.
See, I was going to say like 1964, 19...
Well, the first Renaissance Festival started in 1963 in California, and it's been a trend very slowly working its way across the United States.
See, I was going to guess Woodstock, but I'm picturing kind of
this is
long-haired, grungy
even before
people.
Woodstock.
Okay.
Yeah, Ken Kesey actually credits Renaissance festivals for creating hippies.
Very nice.
And I probably shouldn't say that out loud, but...
No. See, I picture Jimi Hendrix and maybe Jim Morrison I think that hat was Keith Richards. I think I saw in a Rolling Stones video. Maybe.
It could be, but we are trying to celebrate that
Okay.
time in history when there was exploration and great new discoveries in science and art and music and plays and theater.
And turkey legs.
And turkey legs.
Right.
What would a Renaissance festival be without a turkey leg?
I don't think you could do it, right? Well, thank you very much. And I think you have a friend that you brought with
We
you.
do.
Is that correct?
Our friend Seamus the Insulter is here to make a couple of presentations.
Okay.
And I think we can back up and let him.
Thank you.
So, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown, and you are a king in the eyes of the Arizona Renaissance Festival. So, on behalf of the Spear of Power and the Crown of Authority,
Wow.
I give you this.
Thank you very much,
Give him a round of
Seamus.
applause, bravo.
Wow. I'll have to check with Jen and the fellow council members to see how far this crown will actually get me at the Mesa City Council. But, okay, thank you very much.
She's already plotting your application.
All right.
But good luck, and thank you for running this today.
Thank you, Seamus the Insulter, for these lovely gifts. I appreciate that. And gentlemen, thank you again for bringing some well-needed class to our show today. We appreciate that. Well, we've got actually a great show today. I'm excited to be the substitute teacher for today because a lot of good stuff is going on. First, we need to acknowledge some of the great sponsors of this event, the behind-the-scenes sponsors. Those are the folks that kind of feed us and get everything, fun for the day. There's some Alpha Graphics, Gateway Bank, Yvonne Martinez Photography, Cobblestone Auto Spa, and International Minute Press. Our behind-the-scenes sponsors, and I know we're all still enjoying a great breakfast provided by Las Palomas Senior Living and Chef Isaac Rios. I met Chef Rios a moment ago. Thank you. I think there's a lot of well-fed people at Las Palomas, so thank you for doing that. Also, today we want to thank Lighthouse Flowers. Today is Valentine's Day, and so we've got some fun-themed Valentine things going on. They're providing some flowers. And, of course, Nothing Bundt Cakes, one of the best-named businesses anywhere on the planet, is providing, these are buntlets, right? A bunt, am I right? Buntlets. Say again? Buntinis. Oh, you're right. We're calling them buntinis, not buntlets. That would be ridiculous if they were buntlets. So instead, they're buntinis. Buntines. Okay. Small bunts is what we're having today. So hopefully everyone gets a small cake before you leave today. All right. So let's move on to. Also a nice reminder because we're actually filming a TV show today. It's important that you not let your phone go off. There's a long-standing tradition here that if your phone goes off, that's a contribution to the United Food Bank. The last time I was here, Dave Richens from the United Food Bank was calling my phone the entire time, hoping to trigger a contribution. But do what you can to turn off your phone so we can have a good show today. Let's move right into our first sponsored guest today. As is a tradition on Mesa Morning Live, this month's show and breakfast are sponsored by the fine folks at Las Palomas Senior Living. Let's give District Manager and Sales Manager, respectively, Peter Heck and Dana Riggs, a round of applause as we bring them up to talk to us. Thanks for being here. You bet. Enjoy the lovely walk-on music.
I love it.
Yes, thank you. So probably there's folks at Las Palomas that were actually alive during the Renaissance period, I would guess. Is that right?
bet.
I mean,
a couple,
I'm
probably.
thinking, I remember the 60s like it was yesterday. So people of my era is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, tell us, I know you're one of the pillars of our community when it comes to aging in place, transitioning, from one stage of another. Tell us where you guys are located in Mesa.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, we're located at 9050 East Brown Road, which is really near the corner of Brown and Ellsworth. Las Palomas Senior Living is owned and operated by Spectrum Retirement Communities, LLC. It's a Denver-based company. It develops, owns, and operates 49 communities around in 10 states. Las Palomas is one of 8 communities here in Arizona, the only one actually in Mesa. We opened our doors in May of last year, so we're excited to be a part of the Mesa community at large.
Well, and I think everyone, you guys are really at the top of the industry in terms of quality and the level of service you provide. I understand you recently won the 2020 Best of Assisted Living Award from Senior Advisor, is that right? Tell us about that award.
Dana can jump in on that.
We did. So Las Palomas Senior Living did win the Best of 2020. It is an award from senioradvisors.com. We are the only community in Mesa to receive that award. There's several different criteria that go into winning that award, and really it narrows down to high ratings, positive reviews. And so for me and for all of our team, just really want to say thank you to all of our team. It really means that we put our best foot forward every single day for our customers, our residents, our families, our vendors. It's just all about customer service and always putting that best foot forward.
So for folks who are helping their parents, grandparents, or maybe thinking themselves about transitioning into this type of a living situation, tell us what a day at Las Palomas looks like for the folks who live there.
Good, thank you. Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I think one of the things that I believe that really distinguishes this community and the company is we're all about lifestyle choices. And by that I mean we want to customize or create opportunities for residents. For example, we have residents that they want to be active, they want to be involved and participate perhaps in things that they've never tried before. We took a group of residents to the iFly indoor skydiving venue recently. I know, see, you're thinking, oh no. It was wonderful, they had a great time. And it wasn't easy, I did it myself and I'm a few years younger than they are, but it was great, they had a great time. We have some folks that are they're very gifted in the culinary arts. We had one gentleman that prepared a 5-course Italian meal in our community demonstration kitchen because he loves doing that. Those are the things.
That's great.
That's what we want to provide and offer to folks and their families, so they know that it's not just the standard, the 3 hots and a cot kind of thing.
Wow, highly amenitized. Are you going to be building one of those parachuting facilities on campus, maybe? Let me know if you decide to do that.
Yeah, well,
I've really noticed over particularly just the last few years, a lot of assisted living facilities are popping up around town. It seems to be an industry that's really growing like crazy. What do you see as the future of this industry over the next few years?
Well, obviously we have the baby boomers that are moving into this. They're currently here and they're getting, obviously as they age in place and they reach retirement age, we're going to see a tremendous demand from, for retirement living. And we've learned also that baby boomers, their expectations are for that customized and kind of multiple opportunities and being able to live life at kind of the fullest. That's what we're seeing. Dana, I feel like I'm taking usually she talks all the time.
Well, so I think we all have this in common, right? I mean, we're all thankfully aging. We all have parents. We all have folks that we deal with and love, that we want to have a graceful senior life. I mean, I know in my life I've had parents that have aged, and we've been certainly involved in that. So thank you for doing that valuable service in our community. We appreciate it. And you came bearing gifts today, it looks like. Is that right?
We did, because it's Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there.
Hey.
Just on a real quick note, I want to just definitely send our appreciation and our thanks. Chef Isaac, his team, Dion, who is our entertainment and program director, for coming with us today and helping us get breakfast set up. It was just really easy for us to get up here and walk on stage, but they truly deserve a round of applause. Thank you. So with that being said, we brought a basket today for Valentine's Day, but there's several very special caveats in the basket. One, we have several of our residents who love to bake. And when you talk about what does the future look like and what do you want to see change, one of our ladies, Jenny, when we first talked to her months ago, one of the things that she wanted to continue to do was to bake, and to bake her special coffee cake. So today in the basket, whoever wins the basket is getting her special coffee cake. Other residents, they also made homemade candies for you for Valentine's Day. But one of the most special things in the basket is our memory care residents who still continue to do and live life at the fullest. They made a plaque, and hopefully whoever wins will keep that plaque in their office or on your desk. And what it says is, "A loving heart is the truest wisdom."
Wow.
Really
Okay.
brings through for us.
Well, I see a lot of nervous and excited people in the audience hoping to be the proud winner of this basket. Dana, will you grab a card out of there for us?
I will. But one
Okay.
of the things I will say is as we all continue to age, it's a matter of how we age. And for all of our Spectrum communities, our tagline is to age fearlessly and live colorfully. And if you really think about that, that one drives right home as well about
That's what
how
we're
we
about.
achieve it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Allison Ewers from HB2.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay, that was clearly rigged because Allison, has friends in high places. So, thank you.
It
Allison.
is awesome.
All right. Congratulations,
Aw,
Allison.
thank you. Take
You
a
bet.
picture.
Thank you.
Send it
Thank
to
you,
us.
Allison. Thank you.
All right.
Take a picture.
Well, yeah, we'll take a picture later. And yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Allison. And also, I need to let you know that you will be the proud recipients of some, and I'm going to get it right this time, buntlets.
Buntlets. Oh.
Buntlets, right?
I've always wanted my own buntlet.
Well, you're going to have 2 buntlets when you walk out today, so thank you very much.
I'm so excited.
They're the
All right,
little
well-
bunts, right?
Thank you so much for being here, and thanks for the great work you're doing in our community. We appreciate it. Thank you. You bet. Thank you very much. Walk-off music also. Isn't that great? I feel like I should be wearing kilts or something, right? Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. Again, ladies and gentlemen, let's have another round of applause for Zilch and Bathos. All right. Okay, this is the segment of the show that is called the Mystery Guest segment. Each month, we showcase a member of the chamber in a segment we call the Mystery Guest. Let's welcome our mystery guest from the newly minted Mesa Tribune, the Mesa. Please welcome publisher Steve Strickbine. So this is really, you guys, this is big news. This is exciting news. Steve, I feel like we ought to have a drum roll to kind of discuss this topic. I don't know that I want to be the one to break it, so.
There it is.
There we go. Thank you very much. The Mesa Tribune. I haven't heard that phrase for a while. Why are we talking about the Mesa Tribune?
Well, so the Mesa Tribune, was the original daily newspaper in Mesa. Of course, it's actually, I think, the second oldest newspaper in Arizona. It started in 1891. In, I believe, 2000, probably 3, it became part of the East Valley Tribune, which was the big umbrella publications that we own in the East Valley. And they took away the namesake Mesa. They started covering the news kind of more in a general way in Mesa. And so, it's just... since we bought the East Valley Tribune, I've been asked so many times if we're ever going to bring back the Mesa Tribune, if we're ever going to start covering the city of Mesa in ways like it used to be covered. And, it's a need. It really, truly is. And so we brought it back, and we've had a lot of really great feedback so far. It's been fantastic.
I remember when all this happened. For a while, it was we celebrated the East Valley and Mesa and Tempe and Chandler and everyone. All we talked about was East Valley, and that's great. And being a region is a nice thing and it's important. But my gosh, Mesa, Arizona is the 35th largest city in the United States, over 500,000 people. There's a lot of news specific to this city that sometimes I think gets overlooked and not a lot of coverage.
So much news just that doesn't, so many stories untold. I mean, so many things that a community newspaper represents. And I think it goes back to, I say we're not really in the newspaper business, we're in the community news business. And it kind of goes back to why a newspaper starts in the first place. I mean, you're talking about an election year, for instance, candidate forums, things that, give insight to voters and things that are just, there's just no substitute for. I mean, really.
No, absolutely. I think people are hungry for that information. So back in the day, I think I used to be a paper boy for the Mesa Tribune, and I knew how that paper got delivered under that outdated model. But how do people get the Mesa Tribune nowadays?
If this morning live show thing doesn't work out, I mean, we can still talk.
I've still got my bags and my bike, so let me know when you're ready.
Well, so the paper circulation is 40,000 copies a week. They're put on driveways in North and Southeast Mesa. We put 10,000 out in racks in high traffic areas. They're available in Walgreens, places like that. You can also subscribe online. We have an e-edition, which is really popular, where you receive a copy of it in your email box. And on eastvalley.com or themesatribune.com, you can also find up-to-the-minute news, big stories, things like that. There's no question about it that the business has changed. There are so many cities in this country that don't have a newspaper at all.
Right.
Smaller towns, news deserts. But at least we're covering this news and we're making it accessible to really seriously anyone who lives in Mesa just by simply going to themesatribune.com and subscribing there.
So if you're one of the folks in my age group that loves to touch and feel a newspaper, it's either going to show up on your doorstep on a Sunday morning, or you can find one of the boxes around town where they're deposited on Sundays?
Sunday, right.
Okay.
It's a Sunday paper.
And if you are part of the 21st century, you can just, Google Mesa Tribune, find it, and then subscribe to a weekly email.
Correct. You get an e-blast. You get it as part of our e-blast that goes out every week, right?
Okay. Well, I think you're going to have a lot of subscribers, and people are very hungry for Mesa news.
Yeah. Thank you for your support, Mayor. I mean, really, it's been great.
So, is there an event coming up to kick off this?
Yeah. So we are going to have a party, This isn't the first time, our first rodeo per se. We brought back the Scottsdale paper, the Scottsdale Progress, which was a very similar situation. It had actually been completely closed down. We brought that back, had a similar party. It went so well. We're going to do the same thing here in Mesa at the Mesa Country Club to just to celebrate it. I mean, it is a unique story. I get tons of response here locally, but you'd be amazed at how much national response. I mean, from journalists all over the country who read about this or hear about somebody actually bringing back a newspaper these days, so it's a reason to celebrate.
Well, very cool. And that's great news. Even better news, Steve, you're getting a buntlet, okay? I'm not giving you this one, but before you leave today, someone will give you one of these as you walk out. But thanks again. We are all very excited about having the Mesa Tribune back in our lives, and we're looking forward to being better informed about what's going on in our community. So thank you for bringing this back.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
We'll see you. Thank you. Thank you, Zilts and Bathos, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, moving right along. This is kind of an all-star show. We've got some of my favorite people and some of my favorite causes that are being talked about today. Hopefully I haven't skipped over any pages, have I? We're okay? No, we're good, all right. Next, we're going to talk about the Community Spotlight. Nancy, get ready. This is sponsored by Gateway Bank. For more than a decade, Gateway Bank has worked to earn the opportunity to do business with you. So thank you, Gateway Bank. Please welcome to the stage one of the nicest, most saintly people that I know, and one of the persons doing the best work in our community. This is House of Refuge Executive Director Nancy Marion. Thank you.
Mayor, saintly,
Saintly.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't.
no pressure.
I don't throw that phrase out, routinely. I save it for very special people.
Thank you.
So, Nancy, you are doing good work in our community. Tell us, if there's anybody who's been living under a rock and doesn't know about House of Refuge, give us a short description of what it is.
Well, House of Refuge is a transitional housing program for homeless families. So transitional means there's a time limit on it. You can stay with us up to 24 months. But what we do is we hold you accountable and responsible for your actions. We help you learn life skills. So we have an 85% success rate of moving people from homelessness to safe housing, and we're just very proud of that number. Not so much for us, but for the success of the residents that achieve that.
And this is, when did you start doing House of Refuge?
October 1996.
96. And I don't mean to dwell on the challenges that you faced,
Yes.
but a few years ago, HUD changed the way that it funds transitional housing, and you went from receiving funding to not receiving funding.
Absolutely, that was huge. But
Yes.
as we look back now, Mayor, it really was, we were put through the same test that so many of our residents have gone through. And that is, you have funding one day and all of a sudden that funding is cut off, and what do? You can either just decide to curl up in a ball and just let life, go at you, or you just stand up and you go, this is not acceptable. And that's what House of Refuge in this amazing community that you see here did. And they said, we are not going to lose this inventory for homeless families because homelessness is such a major cause throughout the nation. But definitely in our backyard, we did not want that going offline.
No, our community would have been in serious trouble had you not risen to the challenge of doing what you needed to survive. So it is an inspiring story, and it is kind of a model for the lives that you save every day. So tell us what's new at House of Refuge. I know there's lots happening.
There is lots new. Transitional housing is one model of assisting homeless people. But there's another model, and that is where do people go after they leave programs? And that is into affordable housing. And as you and I both know, affordable housing is sparse. I think the national number says that for every 100 affordable housing units needed, there are 25 available. So that means that you're already kind of climbing up a hill trying to find a home. So at House of Refuge, we're trying to help you earn a livable income. So that's one of the things that we do. And then the next thing that we've done is we feel as a community that we need to help those among us that are in need. And so we've partnered with a longtime partner of ours, and on January 14th, we acquired 114 affordable housing units in downtown Phoenix.
Wow. Yeah. So this is an agency that just a handful of years ago was literally 4 years ago, didn't have a pulse. And now you are really one of the largest and strongest human service providers in the area. So what a great testament to you and your board and your the folks that have rallied around you. So that's great. You have affordable housing, 119 homes?
114.
114.
And a warehouse.
But the facility that's in Mesa, what part of the homeless population do you serve there?
So 85% of our residents are single moms, head of household. About 50% will have a history of domestic violence. And like so many of us know families that are living with families, and we know that they just don't make enough in the course of their month to be able to afford a home and food and all those necessary items. So far and away, the majority of the families that we care for are those that are single moms that have found their way into other family members' homes and really are ready to step out on their own and grow and become independent, just like we all like being.
Well, if anybody hasn't been there, this is part of the old on-base housing at the Williams Air Force Base. It's transitioned into Gateway Airport, and those housing units were transitioned into small homes where it's predominantly homeless mothers with young children. It's a very inspiring place to go. I don't know anybody who's gone there and hasn't committed to doing all they can to help you. What's the best way for folks that are maybe new to hearing about you or feel compelled to get involved? What can we do to help you?
Well, we always love our volunteers and we love our donors. You can't do it without either one of those. And I'm going to just have one quick brag moment. One of the certifications that we recently acquired was we feel it's very important to support you in the autism certification, and House of Refuge was the first nonprofit to get our certification because we believe so strongly in caring for all the people in our community. But not only that, we have an amazing community outreach coordinator that is back there somewhere, just a member of the team that's here that are just awesome. And several of the members went out and what they did was they received the Points of Light Service Enterprise Initiative, and that means that we are in the top 11% of the nation when it comes to dealing and helping volunteers know how to connect with our agency. So thank you, Hannah, for all your work on that. But because of that, we are very good at helping people come in and learn how to be a part of our program, because nobody wants to come in and have their volunteer time wasted. So we're always looking for volunteers. We're always looking for the Arizona tax credit, because that's an easy way of supporting a program where you actually get the money back. So those are ways that they can support us.
And you accept donations?
We do accept donations. Rebecca Martinez is sitting back there. She's the head of our donation center. And we believe in dignified housing. We believe in dignified programming. And so she's made a center where residents can come in and shop. No money has ever exchanged hands. We work closely with the food bank, United Food Bank, to be able to provide food for our families. So we're really excited about the program that we put together out there.
So I was thinking financial donations, but you're right. You've got a great facility there where people come in with clothing that they want to donate, food that they want to donate, a lot of in-kind donations in addition to financial contributions.
And that's really important with the summer coming up, because in summer, kids are still hungry, but the free breakfast and free lunch are gone. And so we're trying to always get donations in so that we can keep our kids. We have about 150 on property on any given day. Make sure that they have food throughout the summer.
Okay, what's the easiest way for someone to go online and learn more about House of Refuge?
So you can go to www.houseofrefuge.org, and it's important you remember the org, because some people go com and they never find us.
All right, well, Nancy, there's not anyone in town who deserves a buntlet more than you, and I'm happy to let you know that you're going to walk out with, be the proud owner of a Nothing Bundt Cakes buntlet before you leave today.
But can I just take this 1 second to say thank you
Please.
to you. Thank you to Councilmember Thompson. You discussed the difficulties we came up against 4 years ago. If it weren't for people like you in this community standing strong behind us, we never would have made it. But we did survive, and we're thriving, and it's because of leaders like you, thought leaders that say this cannot be.
Well, you know, I've always said Mesa is a great combination, frankly, of people who need help and people who are inspired and called to and fluent enough to provide help. And your organization and those like you in Mesa are a great example of that. You're really part of the core values of what makes Mesa Mesa. We're not just a collection of streetlights in the Phoenix metro area. We're a community that has a very compassionate core value to it, and you're the poster child for that. So thank you for all that you do in our community.
Thank you.
Nancy, thank you. You bet. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Today's show is about a half an hour longer than most because of our music. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's well worth the additional videotape. Is videotape still a thing? Not so much? All right. The other important segment that we traditionally do on the show is top 10, okay? And typically, this top 10 list is a rather failed attempt at humor, but today I think we've given up, and there's literally nothing in this top 10 list you're going to find at all entertaining. So with that lovely setup, because it's the top 10 list this time is, I think because of, thank you very much for the drum roll, it's a Valentine's-themed topic, and these are the top 10 things that we like about, the top 10 reasons I love the Mesa Chamber of Commerce. That's a great topic, isn't it? All right, we've all could count the reasons we love this wonderful organization. All right, number 10. They use the best photographer in town, Yvonne Martinez. That was contributed by Yvonne Martinez. Thank you. Number 9, they have strong community outreach and communication. This is from Mark at House of Refuge. So we agree with that. Number 8, this is from Megan at Europe, Arizona. I love the Mesa Chamber because they care about community. Yes, we all agree with that. This is more popular, more well-received than I thought it would. Thank you for clapping. Number 7, the Mesa Chamber thinks outside the box to help people like veterans, the homeless, and others. From Larry Johnson at the Mesa Veterans Resource Center. Thank you. That's actually true, isn't it? The Veterans Resource Center is a great example of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce not, thinking outside the box and doing things that chambers don't necessarily traditionally do. So, great observation. Number 6, the Mesa Chamber of Commerce supports my business even when I'm not at an event with advocacy, promotion, and more. From Brian Vivian at Thompson's Auto Supply. That's very true. Oh, we do have graphics for this. All right, I didn't realize it. Number 5, the Mesa Chamber is always trying new things, being innovative, and finding new ways to bring value to our membership. From Craig Henry, friend of the Chamber. All right, so this is my favorite. And it didn't print out, so I might have to make this up. Sally, the chamber president, is the first one to discreetly whisper that you have spinach salad in your teeth. And that's from Jan at Nothing Bundt Cakes. Thank you, Jan. Bob, I'm going to suggest another top 10 list. I think we ought to go with top 10 names of businesses in the city of Mesa. Because can you think of a better name of a business than Nothing Bundt Cakes? It reminds me of my favorite, the other favorite name is Unforgettable, the Vietnamese restaurant at Mekong Plaza, right? We've got some other great names. Mesa Tribune, great name. All right, we'll work on that for another upcoming show. Best names of businesses. Number 3, the Mesa Chamber is looking to the future of business with programs such as Green Flag Mesa and the Capital Opportunity Program. Thank you, Kevin Frost from Standing 360. Appreciate it. We need to learn more about the Green Flag Program and the Capital Opportunity. I think we've talked a little bit about that. And number 2, this is my favorite, actually. Sally can cram 850 plus people into the State of the City breakfast in spite of the powdered eggs. Thank you, Sally. That was submitted by me. Number 1, the number 1 reason why we love the Chamber of Commerce is I love how the Chamber takes time to connect my business to other businesses that create wonderful partnerships for success. The Mesa Chamber is a connection center, and their staff takes pride in this. That's from Larry Young. And here's the next best named business in the city of Mesa, Boiling Frog Development. Is that a real name? Isn't that great? All right. So, Bob, I think we've written like the top 5 of the top 10 best named businesses in Mesa. So that'll be easy next month. All right, moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for this day in Mesa Morning Live. For you that have watched the show before, you know that we have a little trivia contest because we've got years and years of videotape, right, of the Mesa Morning Live. So those who are frequent watchers of this program, this will be easy for you because we're going to try to stump you on some Mesa Morning Live trivia. We'd like to welcome Mike Picard of Ocean Air to the stage, who will give us a lovely gift for those who can answer these questions. Mike, good to see you. Grab a seat. Okay, so you're an expert at this, but remind us what the rules of this lovely game are, Mike.
We're going to pick a name out of the box there, a business card.
Yes.
And we're going to ask you a trivia question. So hopefully you've been attending for quite a while. You can choose one member of the audience as a lifeline that does not work for the chamber. And if you, let's see.
I think
You'll get it right. You'll get it right. We'll make sure you get it right.
And people typically win, don't they?
They win. Today you're going to get a nice basket. You have wine and some other stuff my wife bought. I have no idea what's in there. So.
All right. Good stuff. All right. But I got to tell you the question. I previewed the question. This is difficult. So I hope hope you brought your A game because this is not a gimme by any means. Okay. Let's see who's competing for the lovely prize today.
All right. We have Norm Duvet.
Norm.
He sounded pretty excited.
I won just a couple months ago, so I want you to draw another name.
Really?
Yeah, or let me pick somebody.
Okay, Norm's a quitter.
Norm's leaving. All right, that's kind of like Cheers. Did you see? Instead of Cheers, though, when they said Norm, right?
Better than Norman Bates.
Norman? Okay. All right, well, thank you for being a big guy and donating your 15 minutes of fame to someone else here.
All right, Arlen Wessling.
Arlen. All right, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, along with Nancy, Arlen is one of the saints of our community, Executive Director of Paz de Cristo. Arlen, thanks. Come on up and grab a seat right here. So, Arlen, you get to pick somebody to help you through this process, right?
Oh, yeah, he's going to need some help.
Yes, this is a tough one. So choose wisely.
Me, I'll pick Norm to help me.
Okay.
Most
All right.
people want to wait for the question first. All right, so here's your trivia question. I'm going to ask, like I said, you already picked your guy. So in February of 2016, this East Valley nonprofit was the community spotlight on this show.
It might have been Paz de Cristo. Do you remember? Yeah.
It's not. Is
Okay.
that your final answer?
Yeah, that wasn't a guess. That doesn't count.
All right, I'll give you a hint. They're here today.
They're here. Nancy and House of Refuge.
Don't guess yet.
Okay.
Okay. Well, give him another hint.
One of them is a Tory Stellar.
One of them is a what?
Tory Stellar.
Storyteller would be.
He said
They play music.
Teaches people how to leak in a spiffern language. And stills Tories backwards by kitching Swanson and Facken Borth at the lead of spite. I won't tell you who it is. He does stories like Lolligox and the Bee Thrers and Rindersella and the Stootugly Up Sisters.
Let's try this again. They're here today and they play music.
These guys.
Yay! Are these guys? There we go.
Give it up for these guys.
Zilch and Bathos, ladies and gentlemen.
Some people would
Thank
say
you very
Renaissance
much.
Festival.
Renaissance Festival.
The Renaissance Festival. Oh, great. All right.
We're on the Jumbotron.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Congratulations, Arlen. I think the folks at Paz tonight are all getting a glass of wine, apparently. So thank you very much. All right. So, again, you guys are Tory Stellars?
Yes, well, I'm a Tory Stellar. My name is Zilch the Tory Stellar, and I teach people how to leak in a spiffern language.
Okay.
So that's why I'm running for political office now.
All right. So they used to call dyslexia Tory stelling back in the...
Well, Lysdexia. Lysdexics untie, that's what I say. And so I do half-hour shows. I even do Jomeo and Ruliet, the tragic trail of two children of whoring wowses.
I feel like we need subtitles at this point. Okay. All
It's
right.
perfectly pimple.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm glad that Arlen was the proud recipient of that bag. So thank you very much. Next, we're moving right along. This is our main guest, believe it or not. This is the real reason you came, ladies and gentlemen. All of this was pre-log until now, but this is the meat of the program. Our next guest that will join us is a sports analyst and former professional football player. He's been elected to the NFL Pro Bowl and was an Arizona Cardinal for 4 seasons. Please join me in welcoming Jay Feely. Jay, you're really classing up the program today. You're legit. Thank you.
I didn't understand a word they said either.
Yeah. It's best not to engage. We'll just. Okay, so Jay, you have transitioned like a lot of well-known professional athletes from being an athlete now into being a sportscaster. Is that right?
Yeah, I played in the NFL for 14 years, and when I was finished, got an opportunity. CBS said, hey, would you be interested in calling games? And I literally had never done that, didn't study that in college, was a financial advisor for a couple years before I got in the NFL. And And I said, well, I don't know. Like, I've done some TV and I've enjoyed that, but I don't know about calling games. I said, well, why don't you try it? So literally, I thought they would have somebody who would walk you through the process. They would teach you. You'd have maybe a class that you went to. They literally just put me on a game. It was BYU, Middle Tennessee, and I'm about to go on air thinking, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do for the next 3 hours.
Wow.
And you just kind of do it, and it's weird because, kicking, you either make the field goal or you miss it. Like, it's very clear whether you're good or not. And I finished that game, I didn't know if I was amazing or if I was awful. And
apparently you were all right, because they asked you back,
right?
That's great. BYU, they've got all those difficult names, too. All the Polynesian names.
Right.
A lot of syllables with no vowels in there.
Yeah,
so.
something like that.
Yes. Wow. Well, that's great. And so, and you have risen very quickly to the top of your profession because you were at the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago.
I've been blessed to do 2 Super Bowls with CBS, and it's been a fun ride. And I think, it's similar to kicking in that you just can't fear failure. You're going to mess up. You're going to, be the butt of jokes. You're going to end up on awful announcing. I ended up on Saturday Night Live when I was playing. They do a spoof about you, and you have to be able to continue just to kind of push forward and not fear failure. And that's what I tell my kids all the time.
That's great. So, Super Bowl, J-Lo or Shakira?
I kind of like Lady Gaga when she did it before.
That was a good show.
That was a good show.
That was a good show. All right.
A little cleaner, too.
I'm not going to say anything right now. And I know you have a connection, like I do, with our friend Nancy at House of Refuge.
I do.
Thank you so much. Tell us about that.
Well, my wife has been the president of the board there and very involved. And she got really involved after you guys talked about, when they lost their funding from HUD. And basically, she couldn't sleep at night. We were going, when I was with the Cardinals, we would go 2 or 3 times and visit throughout the year and just kind of be there really with the kids and the families and do some projects just to try and make their lives more enjoyable. And when that happened, she just said, we got to do something. And so we kind of helped come up with this idea of naming each of the homes. So you could name it after your business or your family and having a sponsor a home program and being able to kind of try to come up with all the funds. I said, okay, it costs about $12,000 a year for the house to function. So if we can get somebody to sponsor each home for that amount, now you've covered that house. And, it's been really successful. They've done a great job. And Nancy and her staff do so wonderful with all the people there, and we love it. And really, everybody sitting here, and she kind of glossed over at the tax credit. If you pay taxes, how many people have paid Arizona state income tax here? Right? Great. Every one of you should do the tax credit. Okay. Every single one of you. Because it's a dollar for dollar credit off of your Arizona state income tax. It doesn't cost you a penny. So whenever we do events, I always tell people that because it's $400 for a single, $800 for a couple, and that helps so much to that organization. And they really do such a wonderful job. A couple times I've been out, getting my hair cut or doing something, and somehow it comes up, and I'll meet people who were residents there, and now live on their own, and they're functioning, they have a family, and they're so grateful that they were able to help them break that cycle, and I think that's what they do such a great job of, is just giving them dignity, teaching them the skills that they need to get back on their feet and to be self-sufficient.
Well, thanks for being such a strength in our community, someone who gives back like that. And a couple of really great points. The tax credit thing is something that everybody ought to be doing, but then also this idea of adopting a house for like a $12,000 donation through a business or a service organization. That's a great goal that I think we could all kind of put in the back of our heads and try to figure out who
churches,
who can we work
local
with.
churches doing it. I mean, there's so many different things that you could go and say, hey, that's going to be our home, and we're going to go there and not only help with the money, but also go there and engage and try and help any way that you can.
Your career was fascinating for a lot of reasons, and there's a couple of quick stories I want you to tell, or just facts about your career. You went, the longest field goal you ever kicked was?
61 yards.
61 yards.
Yeah, out here in Arizona.
That's a what needs to happen? It seems like all of the planets need to align. How does a 61-yard field goal happen?
Well, usually they only happen at the end of a half or the end of a game. You're not going to kick one during the course of a game, and so it was at the end of the game. It's kind of desperation, and you're down 3 points. They say go out there and try. And you got to hit it right. The snap and the hold's got to be perfect. Everybody's got to do their job. They got to block well, and you're able to make the kick. And those moments are fun.
And also, you have the distinction of being one of the few place kickers in modern NFL history that scored a touchdown.
Yeah, that was awesome. For me, like I always wanted to like try to convince my teammates and fans that I was an athlete, right?
Yeah.
Not just a kicker.
Yeah.
And so I'd run down there and I'd hit guys on kickoff, and that was kind of my fun. And finally I got an opportunity to carry the ball, and we had this fake in for probably 6-7 weeks. But you have to get the right look. So we'd call it, and then we'd check out of it and just kick a field goal. And finally, we got the opportunity where we got the right look, and we left it on, and I was able to, get in the end zone. I tried to do kind of like a Lambeau leap at University of Phoenix Stadium there, and I got like 3/4 of the way up, and I kind of knocked the kid's glasses off as I jumped into the stands. So my touchdown was a lot better than my leap.
That's very cool. So we cut the highlight film off right as running
exactly.
towards the fans. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's very cool. Where do we tune in to hear you call games nowadays? What's the best way to
I'm on
follow you?
CBS, so I do the NFL Network coverage, and
Wonderful.
You never know what game you're going to do. You kind of get your games 2 games out, and we usually have 7 or 8 games, and I kind of bounce from up in the booth to down the sidelines. I do both roles, and it's a lot of fun. The thing you miss the most when you're done playing is relationships, is the locker room, and those guys, and being an analyst, going to the games. You fly in on a Thursday, on a Friday, you meet with the away team, or the home team, and you go to practice, and then you meet with the coaches and some of the players, and then on Saturday you meet with the away team when they fly in, and it's just fascinating. You get to sit down with these coaches, you get to ask them any question you want, you get to challenge them if you want. You're asking about the game plan, what they're going to do, how they're going to combat the other team and the other players, and you get this really inside look before the game happens, and you quickly know who has answers and who doesn't. Who knows what they're talking about and who doesn't.
You make it sound like there's actually some work that goes into broadcasting.
Just a little bit, yeah.
I just assumed you showed up
That's
and
right. I wish.
strike some balls or whatever. Well, congratulations. Thanks for being such a great community, guys. Thanks for continuing to support a lot of worthy causes in our community, and we're looking forward to continuing to follow this new part of your career.
Well, I appreciate it. We love it. We don't have any family here in Arizona, but we moved into this area and just kind of fell in love with this area, the schools, the people. That's why we decided to raise our families here.
Very cool. Well, Jay, I know you've earned a lot of wonderful prizes during your
My
career.
bunt is not teeny, though.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself. I'm not sure. I mean, you're getting something, but I don't know if we have it. I think you're also, in addition to getting a wonderful buntlet, I think you're getting also something from Cobblestone Spas, car spas. You're getting a free car wash.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Did you use that?
I definitely.
All right.
With 3 kids that are driving, yes, absolutely. My wife and I, yeah.
3 kids? You look like you're...
I got 4, yeah.
4, and 3 of them are driving.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I looked as good as you when I had 3 kids that were driving. That's great. Well, congratulations and thanks again.
Thank you
and
for
we'll
all
look
that you
forward
do.
to-
Absolutely.
My
Good to
pleasure.
hear.
Thanks a lot, Jay.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Well, time flies when you're giving away buntlets, and we are at the end of our wonderful program today. We'd like to thank our sponsor guests, Peter Heck and Dana Riggs of Las Palomas Senior Living. Also our community spotlight, the St. Lee, Nancy Marion from House of Refuge. Our mystery guest was Steve Strickbine. Look forward to getting your copy of the Mesa Tribune. That's a big, big deal. We're excited about that. And of course, our featured guest today, the famous Jay Feely. Thanks also to our breakfast sponsors, Las Palomas, and thank you to Crescent Crown Distributing, who is very gracious in allowing us to use this great facility. For those who are in the audience today, make sure you grab a goodie bag on your way out. There's lots of good stuff in there. And thanks again to Lighthouse Flowers and my favorite named business in the city of Mesa, Nothing Bunt Cakes. Make sure you get a buntlet for your Valentine today. Also, thanks to the great folks at Channel 11 for putting this on videotape. Right, or whatever they're doing nowadays. And we hope that you'll go out and enjoy a great Valentine's Day, and we'll see you back here soon with the real host, Mark Cordes, assuming he doesn't have something more exciting to do. All right, thank you very much. Thanks for being here.